Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to get straight down to it. I'm going to go through a series of definitions in the beginning of this, take some time out to replay it, see what you need to see, but we're going to start working through the conversation, that's going to help you decide where you stand, what you want to see, what you want to do, and who you are, and how you're going to play a part in either building a great nation or tearing one down. Because we keep pointing the fingers, and maybe it's time to understand why. Right now, I'm going to read you guys the law definition for democracy, democratic, and republic. Democracy, democratic, and republic from Black's Law Dictionary. We're going to be on page 544 for democracy, 545 for democratic, and 1559 for republic. Then I'm going to switch over to the internet and read you guys Webster's Dictionary to give you some more context as to what we're looking at. Let's get straight into it. Democracy, government by the people, either directly or through representatives elected by the people. Specific, a system of government in which every citizen of a country can vote to elect its government officials. A country that has a government that has been elected by the people of the country. A situation or system in which everyone is equal and has the right to vote, make decisions, etc. Democratic. Keep in mind, democracy is a noun. It's a thing. Democratic is an adjective, a description of something. Controlled by the representatives who are elected by the people of a country, the democratic process. Organized on the principle that everyone has a right to be involved in making decisions. The democratic style of management. Organized according to the principle that all people in a society are equally important, whatever their material worth or social class. A democratic society of relating to or involving the Democratic Party of the United States. That's the definition that's in there for democratic. We're going to switch right over to a republic. A republic is a noun, a thing. A system of government in which the people hold sovereign power and elect representatives who exercise that power. It contrasts, on the one hand, with a pure democracy in which the people or community as an organized whole wield the sovereign power of the government, and on the other, with the rule of one person, such as a king or dictator, or of an elite group, such as an oligarchy, an aristocracy, or a junta. That's what a republican is. Now you know, if you're saying that you're part of a republic, if you're part of a democracy, if you're part of the democracy, you can now understand what you think you are. So when you talk about these things, you have a definition to kind of back that. So now we're going to go over to Webster's Dictionary. You can get it online, pull it up on your phone, but I'm going to give you the definition. Democracy, as Webster's defined it, government by the people. A government in which the supreme power is vested in the people and exercised by them directly or indirectly through a system of representation, usually involving periodically held free elections. We're going to switch over to republic. A government having a chief of state who is not a monarch and who in modern times is usually a president. A political unit, such as a nation, having such a form of government. A government in which supreme power resides in a body of citizens entitled to vote and is exercised by electing officers and representatives responsible to them in governing according to the law. That's how it's defined in Webster's Dictionary, which is different than how it's defined in Black's Law Dictionary. Now, they use some terms that I want to bring up for republic as it relates to the law. Oligarchy. By Webster's Dictionary, an oligarchy is government by the few. A government in which a small group exercises control, especially for corrupt and selfish purposes. A group exercising such control. An organization under oligarchic control. Government by the few. That's how oligarchy is defined. When they talk about in the law, republic, they use an elite group and they show you an elite group is an oligarchy. Oligarchy, again, a government in which a small group exercises control, especially for corrupt and selfish purposes. That's what Webster says. I didn't write Webster's dictionary. You probably didn't write Webster's dictionary. I didn't write Black's Law Dictionary. You probably didn't write Black's Law Dictionary. We're not arguing the messenger. We're arguing the message. How are you defining yourself in this current society? Aristocracy. What is that? Let's look at what the definition of Webster says it is. A government by the best individuals or by a small privileged class. A government in which power is vested in a minority consisting of the believed to be the best qualified. A state with such government. A governing body or upper class usually made up of a hereditary nobility. A class or group of people believed to be superior as in rank, wealth, or intellect. That's aristocracy. That is the definition or the subtext definitions that are used when defining republic. So, when you stand up and you say the Pledge of Allegiance, do you feel like you're part of an aristocracy? Do you feel like you're part of a republic? Do you feel like you're part of an oligarchy? Do you fit the definition that's put out there? Are you arguing for something that you do or do not understand? This is a huge deal. I am asking you to follow me and give me support because you are supporting what you want to do, which is control your representatives. You want to have a voice. This is one of the times I'm going to tell you that you need to have a voice. You need to be able to give those checks and balances without having to invoke the Second Amendment, without having to go around and say, hey, it's about time we tear this thing down. We have to put in representatives that want to be checked and balanced by its people, that want to. We're not here to be used or use individuals. We're here to work for you, which in tune should work for me because I am part of the collective. Even when I get elected to governor, this is why I do lean on asking individuals to remove yourself from every party and register non-party affiliated so that you don't have to take on the definitions as a whole. Everybody understands that we have a governing body, but the definitions matter. The definitions matter. The definitions will define where we stand. So if you say, I'm for a republic, and someone says, oh, so you're for the oligarchy or the aristocracy of it, you better know what that means. You better know what it means if they don't even ask you and they just put you in a box. So that's why I wanted to educate you. An informed voter is the best voter. Not the one that's targeted, but the one that's able to get the information and make a decision on their own. That's accountability. When you're not informed and then you get hit with these questions, that's a horrible thing. So I want to inform you on what these definitions mean. And then you need to go out and decide if you're going to be put in this box or that box. If you're going to figure out how we're going to do this or if we're going to rewrite these definitions. And let's just see if that's possible. But today, I hope I've made you a little more wiser and a little more understanding. And go out there and explain this to somebody. Go out there and teach this. Those were definitions. They're not my opinion. My opinion came towards the end when I told you I think that everybody needs to switch from the Democratic and the Republican Party and go non-party affiliated. I do like that the most. But nonetheless, you guys have a great day, and I really hope you learned something today. Thank you very much.